Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Mexico City Diablos and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Mexico City Diablos and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for Mexico City, our visitors, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second and 11. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, but he's got it.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for them, too.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go. 70 in traps. Let's go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This is caught, and all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. On the draw, this is Henderson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. The Broncos, they've taken an early lead against the Chiefs. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play there. 52 yards. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Extra point right down the middle.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Well, that carry just did something significant as well. It pushed him past Jerome Bettis on the NFL all-time rushing list. The Bucs had 13,662.
And not every carry you get in the NFL is going to be open field, right? A place you can make your cuts. You've got to get some of those grimy yards, don't you? You got to go inside and run through people, just as Jerome Bettis did. That's what we've seen him do as well. Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll drop the throw. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
There he is. The snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. He'll look to throw.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
That's complete. It's Collins. The decision to go for it doesn't pan out, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence, just because it didn't.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the defense. And he will score. It's a touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll set up a throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. This one caught by Ridley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now back to throw.
We didn't need
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this will be scooped up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. This will be taken in at the 1. on return here, he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
We have hit halftime. Still 2. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
On second down, McClellan. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He's got the first down and more past midfield. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. On that last carry, he just passed LaDainian Tomlinson, Charles, on the all-time NFL rushing list.
And congratulations to him, and I'm sure LT would probably applaud him as well. But he'd also ask him, as well as you carried it, could you throw it like I could too?
LT, though, finished his career at 13,684, and now he's soaring past that. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet, not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll try the left side. It's Boyd. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown. His guys continue to put this one out of reach. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's
Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
On second down now. It's Henderson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting. And even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Set. 15 line. 15 line. Tight down. There you go. Quick edge. Come. Watch edge. Hit it.
On first down, Boyd. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. They'll buy some time right. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on third down.
And ordinarily on third down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touch. Continue to put this one out of reach.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Point after, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the move to his left. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Here's a 2nd and 7. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Check, 59.
Man, I got you.
They'll run on first down. McClellan. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Their mobile quarterback with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Let's go, folks.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch the run, watch the run.
6 guys, check 6 guys.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Well, the 2 men come together. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
30 base.
Kill.
The toss out to Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Watch the run, watch the run. Shoot.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. He'll look to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Looking to throw. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, The head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Second down, it's Henderson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got a number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with some into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Yeah. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now, defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now, here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be taken at the 10. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. forced out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They have gone to the fourth quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. And the Browns, they've extended their lead in that ball game. Now a give right side. It's Boyd. Andrew Luck. A couple of touchdown passes thus far. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. That one looks like he'll throw here. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Down. 60 or. 59. Mike to 59. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. They go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Fourth quarter, you got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Ready?
They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Space to maneuver at the 40. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Set, ready, 50, plant.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Jim. Check 90.
Get it.
He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this from deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another.